Right now, you can survive a freezing night with the flick of a lighter. Your ancestors couldn't. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans lived on this planet without any way to make fire on demand. No matches, no sparks, no flint tricks, just cold, dark, and teeth. So how did they make it through the night? The real answer is far stranger than you think. Fire wasn't invented all at once, it was stolen. Long before early humans learned to create fire themselves, they learned to keep it. Lightning strikes started wildfires across the ancient landscape. Volcanic vents smoldered for days. Early hominins would find these natural fires and carry burning branches back to their camps. They didn't spark the flame, they rescued it. This changes everything about how you picture the caveman. He wasn't a genius inventor hunched over two sticks. He was a scavenger of light, a keeper of embers. Archaeological sites in places like Wonderwork Cave in South Africa show burned bone and ash dating back over 1,000,000 years, long before any evidence of deliberate fire-starting tools existed. Someone was tending flame. Someone was terrified to lose it, because losing the fire meant losing everything. Without fire, the night was absolute. No streetlights, no screens, no safety and brightness, just darkness thick enough to swallow a person whole. Predators owned that darkness. Big cats, hyenas, things with better night vision and sharper teeth. Your ancestors couldn't outrun them. They couldn't outsee them. So they had to outthink them. Groups slept in tight clusters, backs against rock walls, using the landscape itself as a shield. Caves weren't just shelter from rain. They were fortresses with one entrance to defend. Ever wonder why your body still tenses up in a pitch-black room? That instinct is old. Older than fire itself. Before flame, warmth came from bodies, not embers. Humans slept pressed together, sharing heat like a single organism. Some anthropologists believe this is part of why early humans evolved such strong social bonds. Survival wasn't personal, it was collective. A person alone in the cold, without fire, without a group, simply didn't last long. Isolation was a death sentence. Food changed the equation too. Without fire, everything was eaten raw. Meat, roots, whatever could be chewed and forced down. This mattered more than you'd expect. Cooking breaks down tough fibers and unlocks calories that raw food hides. A team led by primatologist Richard Wrangham has argued that the shift toward cooked food, once fire finally arrived, may have fueled the growth of the human brain itself. Before that shift, though, early humans spent enormous amounts of energy just digesting. Big jaws, big guts, small brains, relatively speaking. The body was built for grinding, not thinking. So what filled the hours after dark, if not firelight? Silence, mostly, and stillness, and listening. Every sound outside the cave could be a threat or nothing at all. Your ancestors developed a hyper-awareness that never fully left the human nervous system. That prickling feeling on the back of your neck when you hear a noise in an empty house. That's inherited. That's ancient. It kept someone alive long enough to have children, who eventually had you. Tools helped, but slowly. Sharpened stones, wooden spears with fire-hardened tips, once fire did arrive. Before that, weapons were cruder. Rocks, bone clubs, sheer numbers. Group hunting wasn't a strategy choice. It was the only option. One human against a predator was a snack. 10 humans with rocks and screaming voices was a threat worth avoiding. And then, eventually, someone learned to make fire instead of just keeping it. Friction, sparks from stone. A skill passed down, refined, protected like a family secret. This didn't happen in one flash of insight. It likely took thousands of years of trial, failure, and stolen flame before humans mastered the spark themselves. Once that happened, everything shifted. Nights got shorter, socially speaking, because people had light to stay awake by. Cooking unlocked more calories. Predators kept their distance from the glow. The cave stopped being just a shelter and became something closer to a home. But before all of that, for an almost unimaginable stretch of time, humans survived on grouping, stillness, raw endurance, and borrowed flame. They didn't conquer the dark. They negotiated with it carefully, night after night, for a species' entire early existence. Tonight, when you flip a switch and flood a room with light without thinking twice, remember what that simple act used to cost. It used to cost vigilance. It used to cost closeness. It used to cost survival itself. You've inherited the fear and the instinct, even if you'll never need them the way your ancestors did.